Aloha, Scott Sylvan Bell coming live from Sacramento, California, June 4th, 2017, 2:46 in the afternoon. Perfect day to talk about sales, perfect day to talk about sales training. And I want to talk to you about something that you may come up with in your sales process where you have a buyer that's just after free information. And for whatever reason, they want you to be the pro and they want you to scope out the work and they want you to put in all the effort, and they're not ever planning on doing business with you. They're not your buyer, they're not your client, they're just after the free content. And growing up doing home sales, like I sold heating and air, I sold plumbing, there's things that I did, and every once in a while I'd come across to somebody and instantly, just because of the questions that they were asking, how would you do this specifically? What direction would you go with this? There's certain questions in your industry that you get used to. There's like 90% get asked the same thing, and then there's some fringe ones, and like they make your stomach go, ooh, something's not right here. I wonder what it is. Now you got a couple of different options. You could sit there and not call it out for what it is, or you could be a really good salesperson and ask the question. So when this would come up for me, and I would go out to a home and I would scope out the work, and I got the feeling that that buyer really wasn't ever planning on doing business with me, I'd say, hey, look, I really need your help with something. When it comes down to this, are you planning on having me and my company do the work? Or are you looking for like my solutions only to have somebody else to do it or you to do it yourself, right? Now, you got to figure out how you're going to ask this, because I ask a little bit differently than most people. I take the straightforward, I'm just right out there approach. Look, am I here to design this for me and my company? Can you help me out? Or am I designing this for somebody else, for them to do it, or for you to do it yourself? You got to let me know what's going on. And I've had people tell me flat out, they're like, you know what, I just wanted you to design it, and I've got a cousin who's going to do it. I'm like, thanks for having me out. I can't help you, right? You've eaten up a bunch of my time. But if you want to know the reasons why that I should be this guy, let me know. And like 50% of the time, I would close that deal. But 50% of the time, they would be like, yeah, you're right. I'm just going to have my cousin do it. Because this is a problem. Anytime that you're giving away free information, it hurts your process. Just like when people say, hey, Scott, I want to pick your brain. I'm going to take you to lunch. I'm like, great. I learned this trick from Dave Lacani, smart dude. Dave Lacani would say, if you want to pick my brain, it's $500 and you buy me lunch. Right? So one of the challenges of you giving free estimates, free proposal, free information is you have people who call you up and they want you to design systems. Now, this is no different than somebody who works for a big box store and the person's looking up televisions or electronics on Amazon or a site, and they never plan on doing business with the person or the salesperson they've spent a bunch of time with. It's very frustrating, but it's also part of the sales world. But when you learn how to ask better questions, you know that it does help out. And you know what? Even today, even if you take all the best skills, technologies, advice from me today, you're still going to get people who do this to you. They just give you wacky things like, I want to pray about it, or I need to think about it, or I'm still getting other bids. Just know that you, as a salesperson, probably remember a few times in your life where a buyer has taken advantage of you for information and never planned on doing business with you. Why not ask them? Hey, can you help me out with something? I get the feeling that you're not ever planning on having me take care of this work or my company. You're just sizing this up for somebody else. Is that what's going on today? Just flat out ask them. If you're having that butterfly thing in your stomach, it's probably right. Just learn how to ask them the question. But, script it out now and practice it a couple of times and role play it so that when you're sitting down with somebody, it won't sound like nervous energy and it makes things a whole lot better. All right? There you go. Now, if you could do a small favor for me, in the box down below, leave a comment, question, or story. That would be fantastic. To the right, to the left, there is a subscribe button. You know what you got to do. You got to subscribe. And then last of all, you can send it out to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Why not even LinkedIn? Scott Sylvan Bell. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha.